bloody hell, their quote-unquote star boy, Elliot.
It's not looking good, bruv.
That's what they're relying on in the midfield. Boy, you should have just saved that £37 million that you spent on Gakpo. Went and got yourself a midfielder.
Check the scores before you come with your reckless talk. Go check. Sending call and banter my team, I will banter yours. For the win, taking no L's, we don't do draws. Don't press pause, keep your ears peeled when Tezzy talks.
Don't go changing waterfalls. Something, I don't even know the rest of the words. Yes, my people, Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year, man. Goodness. For those that are watching, I'm so happy that you made it through, and I hope your 2023 will be very, very jolly for you. Because I tell you what, so far, it's going very, very good for me as a United fan. Come on, boys. By the time you watch this, Manchester United will either be third or
panic station.
7 points clear of Liverpool. I don't really care. That should be what's about to happen. Yo, Keems, New Year, man. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good still. Feeling good. New Year, you get me? New W's, you get me?
You hope. You hope. I'll be honest, I don't really like when Keems is feeling good, you know. I'll be honest.
New W's, man. Come on,
I'll be honest. You got Newcastle tonight as we speak.
New players, maybe. New players. You never know, bro.
Why I seen something about advanced talks on certain players. Man. Just as long as you like run up the monies, it's all right. You get me. But what I will say for my personal friends that support Arsenal Football Club, don't let me see that 100. Do not let me see that 100. You know who you are. You know who you are. Get me? But nah, I reckon the money's, as long as you man run the monies, my man's yours. I mean, he's bending over for it. No homo. Good grief. How many Arsenal games has Mudryk watched?
I don't know how much he's watched, but he's posted about 4, blood.
That's what I'm saying. You might as well.
My man's twerking still.
Personal message from Tez himself, yeah? Just do what Anthony did and skip training, man. You might as well. When he's watching football games and all that, like, it's just a bit corny. But it is what it is. On a side note, before we get into the show, what I will say is, people, you see in 2023, make sure you're not red-eye. You see, if you see something that somebody else wants, don't get it for the sake of getting it. And if you want to know what I'm talking about these Liverpool people that are now saying that they don't have enough money to go and get a midfielder that they need. If you watched the game last night, I mean, bloody hell, their quote-unquote star boy, Elliot.
It's not looking good, bruv.
That's what they're relying on in the midfield. Boy, you should have just saved that £37 million that you spent on Gakpo. Went and got yourself a midfielder. I reckon you could have got Casado for that. But that's enough of that. On with the show. We got, I'll tell you this all. Because this is a predominant Manchester United / Arsenal podcast, there's always a lot to talk about. So, you know, when I say there's a lot to talk about, I'm not just saying it for namesake. Look what's going on happened again. But we will get into that. First tweet of the year, my favorite.
Yo, no jingle, bro.
Oh shit! Oh, I swear I said around 5 episodes ago we're gonna have the jingle for you.
No jingle, you know, it's 2023 now, bro.
I'm gonna personally get in the booth and get this jingle sorted out.
Yeah, man, get him in the booth.
I'm gonna get in there, sort this jingle out. I want to give you like a deadline to get this jingle for the tweet of the week done.
Might say forfeit
if I don't get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not forfeit if I don't get it done? I'm gonna say by mid-February we'll have a jingle for you. Promise we'll have a jingle for you. But seeing as how we don't, let's do it old school. It's time for tweet of the week. Let's go. Keems, read out the tweet for the people then, man.
Okay. So the tweet this week is from Ann21 Ernie. You know, it must be a Manchester United fan or something, I don't know.
Shout out my guy, man. He knows who he is.
Anthony, whatever. And he says, Brighton and Newcastle purple patch finally over.
Right then.
What do you reckon then? First of all, actually no, go on.
What do I think? I would like to say I agree, but it's difficult, bro, because Newcastle have got Arsenal tonight, and if they get a result,
As we speak,
is that really purple patch over? Because I mean, Arsenal are the favourites to go and slap them over, and you would think that if Arsenal do slap them over, that's what, for Newcastle, that's a draw and then a defeat. It only can really go downhill from there. I mean, I swear they got another big game in the next couple of weeks. You would like to think that. I mean, everybody would like to think that, but who knows? Who did the play and draw against?
Was it Fulham?
No,
Fulham. Leeds.
That's it, yeah, Leeds. Yeah, I mean, Leeds are a team that you would think that Newcastle should be going on a beating. I mean, I did watch little bits of the game. They didn't really play well still. The Raw didn't. Who knows? Hopefully for Newcastle, it's purple patch over.
Do you actually think it's a purple patch? Because I don't think it's a purple patch. I think this is Newcastle now. Obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously their form's been incredible. They've only lost one game, so they are on good form. But I don't think that's far off where they are gonna level off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think they're gonna be a good team. Obviously, they're overplaying right now, but I still think Eddie Howe's got them playing good. Like, they're not just gonna fade off and go back to being a bottom half of the table team. So,
do you know what? I look at Eddie Howe and I look at his time at Bournemouth. My man took Bournemouth from League 2 to the Premier League.
And you got to think about this. It's definitely not a purple patch, because the whole of 2022, Newcastle have been doing this since Eddie Howe come in last season. From January onwards, Newcastle have been a hard force to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, therefore, I don't disagree.
And even this season alone, they've currently played 17 games, won 9, drew 7, quite a lot of draws in there, but they've only lost one game all season, bro. That's not a purple patch.
It's not still. You all have to put respect on Newcastle's name and Eddie Howe. But going back to what I was saying, you look at what he done with Bournemouth. He took them from League 2, took them to the Premier League, which is not easy by any means. And he never just took... It's not like they were in Norwich under Eddie Howe. They came to the Premier League and they stayed there. And when they got relegated, that's when he was just like, I've took Bournemouth to their ceiling. It's time for me to step down now. And under Eddie Howe, I swear they was in the Premier League for about 5 seasons.
Yeah, must have been at least that.
This is what I'm saying. So he himself is a good manager. Now he's at a club where he's got better players and you're seeing them do their thing. It's too early to be saying Newcastle's purple patch is over. And like Keem said, you can't really say it's a purple patch because Eddie Howe, he's the best. For me, he's the best British manager currently. There isn't a British manager better than him in my opinion.
A couple months ago, man would have said Potter, bro. That's not looking bad.
You know what's
right
mad?
now.
There would have been a debate there. I personally would have still said Eddie Howe, but there definitely would have been a debate there. You have to give Eddie Howe his respect to Newcastle. And let's just say, let's just play devil's advocate here. If it is a purple patch, doesn't matter, because you know what's going to happen. If they do miss out on top 4 or they do miss out on Europe completely, they're only going to spend another 300 M's anyway, because they can do that.
They can do it.
Everybody he's signed.
They haven't done that yet, but they
this is what I'm saying. And everybody he's signed have been, you can tell, they're players that he's wanted. So I wouldn't really call it. It's too early to say if it's a purple patch. I mean, in 3 results time and they ain't won a game, we may revisit this and be like, maybe. But it's too early to say. Brighton on the other hand. Even then, what do you think, Keems?
I think Brighton have been good this season. Just they've had obviously the new coach, what's his name, De Zerbi or something like that.
I don't even know him name now.
Yeah, but he's coming. Everyone thought, what's he gonna do? Graham Potter set a high standard there. Was overachieving there, overperforming. The hard team to beat, but also not even hard to beat, hard to play against because they play good football too. And he's kind of carried that on. Everyone thought that maybe the style of play of things would drop off since Potter left, but I think it's been just as good.
And I swear, with Brighton as well, I'm not quite sure that Potter took all his coaches with him, you know. I swear some of the coaches are still at Brighton. So if that's the case, you lot will in the comments, I'm sure you can let me know. But if that's the case and the coaches are still there, that's why it's still carrying on. I mean, you look at Potter at Chelsea, good God. I just don't even know what to say. But what I will say in Potter's defence, he hasn't had a transfer window, so you can't really. He hasn't had a transfer window, but obviously, so we can't really slate him too much. But if you look at the squad that Chelsea have got, he's definitely underachieving, bro. Yeah, 100%.
Like they spent,
no doubt.
I know Potter didn't bring in the players, but he spent what did Chelsea spend? Like 280 mil. Exactly, like 280 mil.
They spent more than United, and United spent 229.
About to go get Enzo Fernandez for what, like 120 or something like that. But it's crazy. So if Potter, I don't know, I think this season's a free hit for Potter, to be fair. Obviously, if it was Roman, he probably wouldn't make it to the end of the season. But
man know what Roman's on still.
I think Bowley might give him a chance still.
He has to sack Tuchel, unless he's going to be on some Roman Abramovich shit. He has to sack Tuchel for his pick. So he has to back his boy, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. But with Potter though, what I don't understand is he hasn't brought nobody back into the team that Tuchel wasn't using, apart from Kovacic. Really, he's the only one. Everybody else, the team's kind of still the same.
I don't know. That's one thing about Potter. I don't feel like he's been in there. How long now? A good few months. He's had a good.
Just after the summer closed. Yeah. So I want to say about 2 months, 2 months after the summer window closed.
Wasn't it? Tuchel got sacked after the. Was it the first Champions League game or the second?
The first one, so that would have been August.
Exactly. So. No, it wouldn't have been August.
It would have been September. The second or third week in September. What are we in now? January. He's had time.
He's had at least around 10 odd games, maybe more. All competitions, anyway.
Yeah, all competitions.
I say he's had about 15 games. So for you to not know
establish something,
your formation you're playing, your roughly your best team, not your best team. I'm not expecting to know his best team, but the players you feel that you can rely on week in, week out. Something just seems off. But I know Chelsea have had a lot of injuries, but
have they had a lot though?
They've had a lot of key injuries. Then
only 2. Off the top of my head. And Ben
Chilwell, Kante.
Oh yeah.
Some would say.
The old man there, blood.
Yeah, but
that's about it. For me, I mean, you looking at all the managers, running through all the managers real quick. Guardiola in his first 6 months, you could see what he was trying to do. Pep the same, Klopp the same, even Arteta to a certain extent. The difference between Klopp and Pep, they just had better players than Arsenal did at the time, but you could kind of see what Arteta was trying to do.
You could see it.
You're
seeing it now. You're seeing it now.
Listen, trust me, these man. We're gonna talk about these, man. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about these, man. Yeah. Fucking hell, Eddie Howe. We're talking about Newcastle. Look at Eddie Howe. It didn't take him that long to implement what he's doing.
Bro.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Why? Come on, we gotta be real, bro.
You get me?
We gotta be real.
Man, just know with Chelsea and Potter, I don't understand it. Yeah, you're right. There's bare man. Like you can look at United and you can see what the playing style is. You just know United need a striker. You can look at Arsenal and be like, you know what? their first team solid, but they need 1 and 2 man. You can look at Liverpool and clearly see they need a midfielder. Last season, the season before, you could see that all City needed was a striker. With Potter, bro, I don't know what they need. I don't know what they're trying to play. I don't know what's going on over there.
You look in every position, you think, what's going on? Like
player for player,
they got a good team, bro.
It's up there. It's up there.
They got internationals throughout the team, so
even fucking Conte, as shit as his football is, you can see what he's on. You can see what he's on. So I don't know what's going on over there at Chelsea still, but yeah, Brighton are better off right now than Graham Potter is. I mean, before Graham Potter even went there, what's his name? Chris Hughes. He was doing an all right job.
Chris Hughton,
that's it. He was doing good, man. I was actually like, bro, why you sack him?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Potter was never. Brighton had their blueprint. Is this a purple patch for Brighton? I suppose so, because Brighton can go on bad runs. There can go on bad runs where they don't win a game. They may not necessarily lose, but they don't win a game for all that 3-4 games. You get me? So arguably, you could say it about Brighton. I'm not so sure about Newcastle, especially if 2022 and last season have anything to say about it. The jury's still out for me on whether this is a purple patch for Newcastle. What I will say is, I still don't think they're strong enough to make top 4. And when,
really?
Nah, bro. No, I don't.
Why? How come?
I just think that their squad's not big enough. That's what it is. And then their key players, man will say, yeah, we got Isaac to come back. They'll probably say some shit in the comments, and the fans will raw.
But why do they need a big squad? It's not like they're in Europe or anything.
But they will. To get into Europe, you're gonna need a big squad. They're still in the League One Cup. They're still in the FA Cup. We're playing 3 games a week. That squad there can't manage 3 games a week. Unless they get kicked out next round in the League Cup, they might do, but who knows? I see them finishing.
I don't know, they're starting to turn my head, bro. I can't lie, like I'm looking back like, yo, Newcastle's still here, bro. Like, you get me?
I hear that. You raw have to put some respect on their name a little bit.
Definitely.
You raw have to.
Especially because what man was saying last season? Or start of the season?
Yeah. We was
get me? Especially how man was saying, oh, nah. Newcastle this, Newcastle that. But trust me, Newcastle are doing bits, bro.
It's possible. I mean, Leicester won the league for crying out loud, so it is possible. But things just change really quickly. I mean, like, the last time you guys sent us, I was talking about Spurs and Chelsea to make top 4. Now I'm sitting here, I'm like, the next time you lot see me next week, Manchester United could be 3rd, bro. 5 points clear of Spurs, 7 clear of Liverpool, and I think it's around 2 or 3 of Newcastle. So, things change. But no, I don't know. I think Liverpool will still make it, as I'm saying, even though they got, I don't know what happened to them. You want to laugh at my club for losing to Brentford, bro. At least I have an excuse. And you know what my excuse is? Maguire was playing, Shaw was shit, McFred was in the midfield as well. What's your excuse? All your key players was there. Trent got an assist, Van Dijk there, had to get subbed off that 45 minutes. Your player of the season, Alisson, was there. Salah been shit all season. Where the fuck's he at? Who else is your key man? Who's your key man? Fabinho, Thiago. The man are there, bro.
What was the Starboy Kanate, bro? Man, we're talking a lot about Kanate, fam.
It was talking
down on my boy Saliba. You get me? I know Saliba ain't been the best since he's come back from World Cup, but trust me.
Trust me.
You get me? We're still winning. You get me?
That's all that matters.
But Kanate, bro, it's not looking good for you, bro. Brentford, but got my guy Mbuemo just bullying you, bro. You get me? Brentford just it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. Trust me.
I'm allow you lot this week. You get me? True say my teammate played it. I'm just gonna be cool. What I will say is though. You know what? Wait there. Let's just go back to this tweet real quick because I actually have got something to say. What are we saying about this tweet? I'm saying 50-50. With Brighton, I'll be like, yeah, it's reasonable. With Newcastle, I'm saying the jury's out. So I'm not going to say it's wild. but I'm not gonna say it's reasonable. It's just, I'm sitting on the fence with this tweet still. What about yourself?
Personally, I don't think the purple patches for neither of them. Brighton, the 10th right now, so if it's where they should be, really.
You think that's what Brighton should be?
7th. In the last 3 seasons, that's where I expect them to float around. You get me? Brighton are a good team, man.
It's not hard to go to
And
the
Newcastle
down the seaside still. It's not easy. Sorry, it's not easy to go and play down
Newcastle
at the seaside.
have had a good 2022. So for it to be a purple patch is what a good say 3 months max or something like that. I would say good form, but this ain't good form. This is Newcastle right now. Like, this is who they are. This is what Eddie Howe has done to them. You get me?
I mean,
transforming players like Almiron, Joe Linton, Joe Willock.
Can't stand that guy.
You get me? Trippier, Shaw. He's playing like a. He's been at Newcastle for how long? And this season he's just been next to Botman, bro. He's been class. Who else?
Dan Burn,
Nick Pope, performing out his skin.
Yeah, they got a good thing going on.
Bruno Guimaraes
got a good thing. They got a good thing. Here's a topic that we're going to talk about at some point in the future. If Newcastle continue the way they're going, how many of them players will still be there come next season, the season after? But we'll save that one, guys.
Wait there, let me ask you this quickly. So say Newcastle or what now?
They are third.
They're third. 34 points. Say Newcastle wasn't to get in the top 4. That's a bit reasonable, isn't it? Say they wasn't to get top 6. Is that a fall off or what?
If they don't get top 6,
they're currently 4 points ahead of 6 points ahead of Liverpool, and 4 points ahead of Spurs.
Newcastle are 6 points ahead of Liverpool.
6 points ahead of Liverpool.
I'll get to you, man, in a minute anyway.
9 points ahead of Chelsea.
To add context to it, if you look at how they've started the season,
trust me, it's gonna be tight, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be peak.
It's gonna be tight, bro.
Where they are now, where they've started the season, come the end of the season, if they don't make top 6, you would rather look at it and be like, "Raw, the fuck happened?" But when you look at it on paper and you look at the big 6 and then some, you'd be like, you probably would expect them to finish like 7th, 8th. And that's not... Newcastle finishing 7th or 8th, that's not a bad season by a long shot. But you would expect them to get top 6 based on where they are now and how they've started the season. But yeah, that was indeed tweet of the week.
Check the scores before you come with your reckless talk. Go check sending call and banter my team and we banter yours. For the win, taking no L's, we don't do draws. Don't press pause, keep your ears peeled when Tezzy talks.